Welcome back to the office. We're in the car version this time. So I had a thought today and I really wanted to go deeper on it because, I, like most people these days, I listen to a lot of informational content. I shouldn't say most people because maybe most people don't do that. I feel like most people are entertained. I'm entertained with information, put it that way. And so, when you listen to a lot of these people, like entrepreneurs and these like really great speakers talk, I know a lot of people coming into the game, they're just like, they think that these people are selling dreams, which in a way they are. Because, if you don't have dreams, how could you ever make them come true? Like, that's really the thing here is like, if you don't dream, how can you ever make your dreams come true? Which obviously you cannot deny that people have not made their dreams come true, right? So that's the first thing. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, people always say, oh, that person's selling a dream, he's selling dreams. And I was just kind of like mulling it around in my head. And I was like, it's not even that they're selling dreams, but they're just selling reframes. And if you don't know what that means, I'm kind of going to get into that here in a second. But it's like when somebody's selling dreams on stage or on a YouTube video, whatever, it's not necessarily that they're selling the dream, but they're reshaping the way you think, or at least that's what they're trying to. So when you read these books like Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting like all these really good books that, came from very successful people, the book is made to change the way you process information and the way you think, because your level of thinking has got you exactly where you are right now. So rather you're at a place where you are loving life, or you're at a place where you're like, damn, like I thought my life would be different. Your level of thinking got you exactly where you are right now, right? So the next level is going to require a whole different version of thinking from you. And so when you're listening to these great speakers, that is the whole point of what they do, because they're reshaping the way you think. So they're reframing the world differently. So when you look at the world through a different lens or a different frame, you're perceiving things different. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at tend to change. So I'm going to let that one marinate for a little bit, because that is like, that's probably going to fly over most people's heads. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. And so, like, I put it like this, like, I think we've all had people in our lives where, they might talk bad about successful people, financially successful people, and say, oh, that person is a scammer, that person does this, does that. But if you're somebody that, even let's say that you have that perception, right? Like, initially you're like, that guy's not trustworthy. You can always still learn something from somebody. So if you see that even if he is a so-called scammer, that he is having success with what he's doing, there's something that he's doing right, like, nonetheless. And so if there's a lack of intention there, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's your problem and that you have to continue doing that. But if this person that is so-called scamming people is a great speaker, well, what would that mean for you if you became just as good of a good speaker, if not better, but you just had better intentions than he did? So it's kind of like, and people get blinded by their emotions, right? People get blinded by their emotions in the sense where, yeah, somebody is like speaking very well, but they think, oh, no, that person, he was handed success or he was handed money off. Like, it's, so what? It's like he has a skill that's clearly working for him. So what does you complaining about it being unfair do for you? Because at the end of the day, you get to keep the beliefs that you fight for, right? You get to keep that. So in a sense, you're right. If you think everybody that makes money is, screwing people over, and then you're right. That's your opinion, and you're going to stay in the same position you're in. So if you're somebody that isn't happy with where you're at, I think this is something that you inevitably have to reconsider, because your level of thinking is going to keep you exactly where you're at. And if you don't improve that, then you're just going to stay there, right? And so even for me, like, first getting into this, it's like, you see all these people making all this crazy money, right? And you're like, how could I do this? How can I do this? And then when the opportunity presents itself, some of that doubt might start to seep in, right? And so my experience has always been, Not necessarily like focusing on what to think, but removing the thoughts that don't serve me. Focusing on what not to think. I mean, not focusing on it, but just removing that completely. So, kind of put it like this, like if you were skiing through, a forest, or if I'm trying to describe this. I heard it spoken so well. If you were skiing down, let's just say a mountain, and there's a bunch of trees, right? So if you focus on not hitting the trees, you're going to hit the trees. However, if you focus on the path itself, you will see your way through it. And so life is the same way, where it's like if you focus on all the things that are wrong, if you focus on all the problems, then the problems will just keep popping up, like here and there, here and there. But if you focus on the solution and just moving past it, like the problems almost take care of themselves in a sense. I'll put it that way. And so from my experience, it's been always putting a focus on where I'm going, and not focusing on where the negativity that's part of it. Because like it's part of the game. Like the problems that come up, the issues, the drama, like all that stuff is part of the game. So focus on winning, and the rest will solve itself. So I say all that to say that just goes back to the point of the quality of your life is dictated by the quality of questions you do ask. So if you listen to somebody that's successful, and the questions that come up are, why don't I have that? Why was I not born like that good of a speaker? Why does this person have this? Why does this person have the advantages that I don't have? Then that's what you'll focus on. But if you focus on how can I replicate this? How could I do this for myself? And how could I be, the 2.0 version of myself? What would the 2.0 version of myself do in this moment? Then that's exactly where your mind will go. And so a big part of the game is just honing in on your mind and just focusing on the right things. That's going to be such a huge thing, because most people just don't do that as is. Most people are distracted. Most people want distractions. Most people are, and here's the thing, like, enjoy life. Like, by the way, enjoy life. You only get one. So I know a lot of people just push this work stuff and focus on grow the business, but we all get in this game because we want a certain lifestyle at the end of the day. So if you get in the game and then you get lost in the business, then you're not even gonna enjoy it. And so if you don't enjoy it, and by the way, if you do enjoy it, don't listen to a word I'm saying. If you do absolutely enjoy just being locked in all the time, then go right ahead. But I know for myself and a lot of people that get in this game, it's for a certain lifestyle, right? It's because this game provides you a certain lifestyle. It provides you with certain opportunities. It provides you with certain connections. It provides you with certain experiences, right? It provides you with an abundance of options in a multitude of ways. And if that's something that you do care about, it's like, make time for that, because life passes by so fast. And if you don't take the time to actually enjoy it, I mean, the decades fly. And I'm experiencing that as I speak. It's when we all, like, I remember turning 18 and thinking I was old, right? I remember turning 18 and thinking I was old. So just always take the time to enjoy. I mean, if you're a younger man listening to this, like, definitely enjoy your life. Make time for it, just the same way you make time for you just have to make time for the priorities in your life at the end of the day, right? Take care of your people, for sure. Take care of your people, take care of your family. I know a big thing for me, like, for me, the big thing with taking care of my family was just being the example. Like that's always been so huge. My may or may not be because I'm the oldest, right? I'm the oldest of my generation, so I just feel like that weight has been on my shoulders, and by any means necessary, I had to figure this thing out. And yeah, I feel like I covered a bunch here. Let me know what what takeaways you guys had, what insights you guys had, because I know I just threw a lot at you guys, but you know, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, and it's also what you make it. It's, you know, I like to look at life as a blank canvas, and you're the artist. You get to paint the picture you want to see. That's the beautiful thing. And especially if you, we all have certain gifts. So it's just about using them and tapping into them, right? Like we all have certain gifts. We all have flaws as well. And sometimes those flaws could work as gifts, by the way. So leverage that. Like leverage everything. Like everything is leverageable. You got a chip on your shoulder, you could leverage that. Like that's fuel. If there's anything that has worked for me, it's always been leveraging chips on my shoulder. Always. Like, you might be different. I know people are different, you know, different strokes for different folks. But I'm somebody, like, if I ever have a chip on my shoulder, if I'm ever like pissed off about something or just something happened in my life, it's like, that's just energy that you just draw from, you know? I'm not somebody that does this whole, you know, like meditation and feel good stuff. Like, that's not me. I operate off of just things that just didn't go my way and I wanted them to go my way, or things that just certain experiences that just, like, it could be negative, right? Negative experiences that just gave me fire, right? I could be vindictive sometimes. So, you know, but I mean, you could see that. A lot of very successful people do have these traits as well, right? They have big egos. I've never seen a very uber successful person that did not have a big ego. I've never seen it. And when you think about ego, I think people get ego mixed up. Like ego, it's a sense of self, right? People think ego is like, it could definitely hold you back. Like it's one of those things where it could be a double-edged sword. So if you're not using it to your advantage, it will be used against you. And the thing, I mean, it could destroy you. But if you're intelligent and you know where you're going, you know your path, you know who you are, dude, ego is just like having a katana. It's your weapon. So I'll end it off with that. I know I went a bit over here. I know I covered a lot as well, but at the end of the day, it's like I always say, like, you get one life. As far as I know, you get one life. And when I check up out of here, last thing I want to say is I wisha, I coulda, I shoulda. See you guys in the next one.